connection. Sorry about slight delay. Let's see if we can remember what this was about. This was from last time. Let's see if anyone remembers the brilliant plan by White in this game. I'll just give you 30 seconds, all right? Okay, a lot of people got it right. Kind King Sam, Inari, Little Chess Player, Gordon, Alg, I Like Kebabs. And some people switched the move order, I see. Aha, more winners. Mexico Real, Pikachu. Uh-huh. Nice. So many of you remember, no? Many of you remember. Some people played the third move at move two. That's perhaps possible also. Let's, okay, awesome. Oh, and Charles Hua, you also found it. Kind King Sam, you were the fastest one. So where is Kind King Sam? Here, right? Please go ahead, Kind King Sam. Yeah, B4. We are attacking on the queen side here. All right. Somebody has the microphone on. All right, let's turn it off. And b5, exactly. We are tearing up their queen side, which talked about this fact that traditionally we would think that we should attack them somehow on the king side, perhaps, but it's much more powerful to do it on the queen side because they don't have a bishop taking care of this side. So b4, rook takes, and b5. If you played bishop g5 on move 2, I'm not completely sure what might be the difference. One guess would be that I can play queen d7, perhaps. Would that make some difference? Maybe, no? Maybe yes, maybe no. But in the game, they played the b5 first, and only after ab, then they played the move bishop g5. No, you didn't miss so much, Sarthak. This was just a quick recap from last time. It was this brilliant game by Sasikiran. Later, he even played a4, and he opened up the queen side completely. So that's what we looked at last time, and I thought we should continue with this very interesting topic. I wanted to present you another interesting game. If here the players were rather familiar in our next game, I don't think that you know about these players. We'll see. We'll see. This is a game played last year in the championship of Azerbaijan. White is Hasanzadeh, black is Manafov. I'm not really familiar with either of these players, but they played a very, very interesting game, which I wanted to share with you. So let's pick another opening. Last time, everyone remembers, we looked at the Karo Khan with knight d2, recommendation by Wesley So, put the knight on b3 and so on. However, in this game, we will have a look instead at Alakai's defense. Aha. Okay, Sartak, you haven't seen them either. Yeah. But yeah, very interesting game by both players here. They played in this game the Alakai's defense. Usually people play d4. I have noticed that computers actually say that the best reply is the 4 pawns attack, right? I think this is recommended in many books. It seems to be the computer's first choice also. It's just love to take all the space. So if you're playing the Alakine or you're considering to play it, you should definitely look up the 4 pawns attack. That might be the most. No, they're not grandmasters. They are 22 or 2300 players. I think perhaps international master. But they played like, I mean, at least White played like a grandmaster in this game, you'll see. So definitely d4 and c4, that's the top choice perhaps. But in this game, they played knight c3, which is a much more obscure variation, knight c3. Usually they take here on c3, White takes with the pawn, just like in the Petrov, if you know that variation, of course, d takes c3. But okay, this is different pawn structure, d6, bishop c4. This is one line that White plays here with, I think, with knight f3, queen e2, and try to castle along and so on. But it's not really considered to be critical. But yeah, it exists for sure, this variation. But in the game, something else happened because Black played. I hate Alkan's defense itself. Like, yeah, I like it. I have tried it out a little. I think it's very interesting. It gives a different flavor to the game than other openings, and you can also play with fianchetto in the Alakine, and you can play without fianchetto. Anyway, knight b6 was played in the game. White played knight f3, and black played d6. You would say that this is nothing special for White. I think after e takes d6. Yeah, anyway, I'm interested to hear your opinion. What do you think? Should we take with a c pawn or should we take with a d pawn? Anyone has an opinion on that? With the c pawn, says Al. Connor is of the same opinion. D, that, oh, queen takes pawn. Yeah, maybe you can take with the queen also. Interesting. I didn't think about that. Michael says with the e pawn. Yeah. Anyway, it's not politics or pick your favorite color. No, we should have some kind of scientific backup. I would think that e pawn is the best choice in this case because when you play the line with d4 and in this line, for example, yeah, white is happy to have the pawn here, right? They play knight c3, and sometimes you can play like this, perhaps, or you can put the knight on f3. But you're happy to have this space, right? While here, after c takes d6, you will see that things are a little different. Well, I'm not sure. I think both are fine. I think black's mistake came next here. Next, I would probably take with the e pawn. I think this looks just like almost equal castles, and put your bishop somewhere. I don't know if maybe it can transpose to the Petrov, or no, I think not, right? Because the knight is on b6. If the knight was on f6, I think you could get her in some Petrov variation. Like if you think, for example, something like knight f3 and you play, yeah, how would you get there? Like this, right? If you play knight c3 here and black doesn't want to take, they play knight f6, d4, bishop e7. This is almost the same thing, right? This would be basically the same thing, but you would have the knight, yeah, exactly, on the other side, right? So who knows? What does that mean? I guess it's better to have it here, right? So that you can put the knight there and the bishop here, perhaps. Yeah, exactly, Sartak. If you play with c takes, almost always in the Alekhine, your intention is to, not always, but very often, you will try to fianchetto that bishop. So that's actually what happened in the game. White played d4, and I think black should have played g6. Had black played g6, I can assure you that this would have been a completely different game. However, in the game, black played bishop g4. So usually when we speak about development, we try to develop first the pieces located on the flank where we would like to castle, right? So it would make sense for black to develop those pieces, but they didn't do that in the game. The bishop is bad when you play the normal way. Yeah, interesting chess of the bishop. Yeah, if you take with the other pawn, you don't want to play like this anymore because you're locking the bishop in. I understand. Aha. So in any case, bishop d4 was playing in the game. I think this is the beginning of black's problems. All right. White played here the move h3. My first quiz to you guys is if black plays at this point bishop h5. How do you think white can take the initiative? There is a variation that I like for white here, which I would like to see if you can find also. I will give you only 30 seconds, okay? So think quickly. How do you think white can actually take the initiative in this position? How can they make development difficult for black? So we're random, you're the winner. Michael Deng, Adi Chess, that's right. Some people want to give check. Yeah, maybe you can give that check also. You develop a piece, but I also develop a piece. Interesting. I won't say that there are like right and wrong here. I'll give my opinion and you will have your opinion. Oh, h4, some people want to play also, like Sarthak and Tactical Magician. Interesting. Yeah, maybe you can play that. We had many answers, but I will ask, sorry, Sue random about this because Sue and I, we thought in the same way here. So please, yeah, interesting, Kevin. We'll talk about your move also. Sue says g4, and here comes the key move. This move I like very much because now we don't let them play d5. It would be like some Caro-Kann, right? d5, e6, and bring out the bishop. d5 is very nice because now you can put the knight on d4, perhaps. You can fight for the knight squares. If they ever dare to play e6 or e5, we will probably take it and we have something to work on, right? Maybe you can like fianchetto this bishop also. This looks very pleasant to make the life hard, exactly. So Sui, very good discovery. Other people said here h4. I think h4 is fine, but I would play h5. And if you play g5 here, I'm very happy to play my move here, d5. I'm trying to get into some kind of Caro-Kann, right? Like one opening leads to another. So interesting if you played h4, but I would stick to Sui's plan here with d5. I think this is a very pretty move. It actually exists in some variation in the Alekhine. Having said that, there is a line in the Alekhine. I don't know if you're familiar with this. You can actually play it here. You can. Somebody played it here, d5. It's not as silly as it seems, though. One point is that if black plays g6, what would white play? Why would g6 be a bad move? Anyway, very quickly. Of course, L008, fastest brain around. queen d4. This is just terrible for black. So the idea exists. Also, the idea that Kebab said a4. Here you can also play it. And I think black should not play a5. Black should just get going with development. Let white play a5. I think this would be my answer also, Kebabs, in your variation. Let's see if we go back to the variation here in the game. Let's see. How did I play in the game? Let's see here. d4, bishop d4, h4, h3, bishop h5. So if you play a4 at some moment, I think I should just try to play something like, yeah, what would I play here? Actually, it's very annoying. It's very annoying. I will never play a5, of course. I would like to play d5 and a5 and move my knight. I don't know. This is probably very depressing. No, it's very depressing to play like that. Fischer used to play this knight maneuver, but not here. Yeah, this looks very sad. Yeah, it looks terrible. So what to play then? Yeah, I don't know. e6, I guess, to put the knight there instead. I guess that's what I would play, Kebab. And then you can play, if you like, you can play a5, you can play d5. Well, not that I'm very happy about this, but I would play e5. I think this at least is better than the other one because you don't have the en passant, right? So yeah, what can I say? Black is suffering, but I think it's still playable. Yeah. So anyway, this is what I wanted you to notice. If bishop h5, very, very interesting plan here, g4 and d5. If you play d5 straight away, I might change my mind. No, I might change my mind. I might take, and I might play g6. And you don't have L008's move here, queen d4. So I might be able to develop, right? So these are like small details. That's why I think we should play g4. Not exactly in order to hunt the bishop, but in order to play this very pretty move, d5. I think this is a key move here in the structure. So anyway, what if bishop b5 and the d5? All right, let's see. Bishop b5, is that here? Yeah, bishop b5, I will always play knight e7. No, what else can I do? And then you go d5. Well, I guess you can do that. a6 maybe to gain a tempo. Your bishop is going, well, to e2. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can play that also. Yeah, who said that? Yeah, maybe. It seems interesting. Yeah, I don't know what I would play here. I don't like this for black. Don't get me wrong. This still looks a little suffering. Maybe a5 and hope for the best. At least now, since we committed the bishop here, it cannot go to g2 anymore. I don't know. Can I play like queen f6 maybe, or is this just? Honestly, I don't know. I'm even considering to castle long at this point of the game. So I think it's interesting. Yeah, bishop e5, very interesting. All right, guys, let's continue. In the game, they played instead bishop takes f3. All right, they played in the game bishop takes f3. White took back, and actually the position is a little similar to those London, the London variation, that line with knight c3. I think you know what I mean, right? Like if you play, yeah, how do you get there? I'm not really good with these lines. Something like this, and maybe like knight c3. It looks a little like this, right? Knight c3 here, and they take, and you play something like that, I think, and this one comes here or something like that. Yeah, I don't know if you see my point, but okay, the knight is on b6 instead, so it's not exactly the same thing. Yeah, exactly, the Jobava line, L and Al, exactly. So it looks a little like this, but we should notice that the knight is actually on that side. That's the position we have. Actually, white's moves were exactly the same. So yeah, let's go back again. Queen takes f3, black hurry to play d5. Caro-Kann structure, bishop f4, development, maybe white will castle long in Jobava fashion. Black play knight c6. All right, guys, it's time for our first difficult quiz. Well, not so difficult perhaps, but we'll see. We'll see how you fare here in this little quiz. All right, I think 1 minute and 15 will be enough. Take your time. Don't send me the moves. Don't send me the moves, please. There is one move which everybody will look at, but it might not be the best move. Okay? Don't forget that this kind of structure with black, it's very, very resilient. No, it's very resilient. It's not that easy to get an advantage here. Yeah, all right. Let's see who got closest. I can see at least everybody understood the message here. It's about the queen side today, right? We're talking about the queen side. So something is probably happening on the queen side. Aha. Okay, so Kebabs and L008, you got the first move. Great. Kind King Sam and Tactical Magician and Pikachu, you also got the first move. GM, you're fastest. Yeah, you got up to move 3. If you play like that, GM, I will play e6 simply. Okay, we have a few winners. No, we don't have winners yet. But GM is our Michael. You're the closest. Yeah, Michael has up to move four. Winners are new student here. R RKDK RKDK chess and Sui random. Wow, who might that be? RKDK sounds like ACDC. Well, that's a different story, right? Then we're talking music. Uh-huh. So let's see here. Michael, you were extremely close, but the winners are RKDK Chess and Sui Random. So please go ahead, RKDK. This is, yeah, mind-boggling handle for me to pronounce. Please go ahead. How did White continue here? Did they defend the pawn or they didn't care about the pawn? You can just play out the moves, RKDK. Well, I don't get any answer from RKDK. You can just play out the moves. Okay, I don't get any answer. So let's turn to Michael. Oh no, here he is. Yeah, okay. So a4. This is the key move here. A4. We are trying to push this pawn forward and tear up Black's queen side structure. That's what happened in the game. If I take this pawn now, what did you have in mind, RKDK? Bishop e5 check. So I have to probably take on b5, and the best way to take back on d5. Trying to find my variations here. Yeah, exactly. We have two ways to take back, but it's rather obvious which one we will take with, right? Of course, installing an important threat. Black played rook c8, and the last move is important, not so much for the pawn, but in order to keep this square for white. All right, we will come back to this. I understand if you're not convinced by this, perhaps, what he played here. But he played this, and it's exactly what the computer is also asking for. So, in the first place, we don't need to defend this pawn. If you castle long, for example, black can play e6 and try to develop normally. One interesting detail here, by the way, if you play knight b5, I mean, if I will be honest with you, if this was a bullet game, if I played a bullet or blitz game, I would just think that I should play like this and put my knight on c7, right? That's what I would think. But it's not that convincing, actually. I told you, these systems are very resilient. I could play something like g6, and believe it or not, this is actually quite fine for black. You'll have to go back with a knight, and I can play a6 and bishop g7. I'll develop my pieces. Yeah, whatever you want to play here, like c3. I don't know. Do I have maybe e5 here, or else I will just take it maybe. So you probably have to go back, right? You have to go back. I can play a6, and not so clear that white has an advantage here, or maybe even not that. No, maybe here, and I can play bishop g7 and attack this pawn. Yeah, my king looks a little funny. I can admit that, but apart from that, I think black is fairly solid. So knight b5 is like a shot in the air here. The move knight b5. Then what else did you say here? We had some other opinion. Yeah, bishop e5. I think it's like an empty move. I will just play e6 and try to develop normally. I don't believe so much in that. Also in the Yobara system, I think you don't play bishop e5 very often. It's not typical. So clearly best choice here. What we talked about, a4, very, very strong move. So we are trying to create some kind of unpleasantness for black on the queen side. If a5, what would you play in that case, RKDK? Are you still having the... You still have the pawn, right? Yeah, this is a very, very ugly move, right? Now, everything I said before, it's not applying anymore. Now, of course, we play knight b5, and now we can play everything that I said, right? Now you can play all this if you like, because nobody can take away the knight from b5. It's a very nice spot for the knight. c3 and just develop. Yeah, that's a big concession from black to play a5 here. They don't want to play a5 for sure. Also, if they play a6, anyone, what do you think white will play? Please go ahead, Kebabs, what's your question? a5, exactly, nice move, a5. Now we're fighting for this pawn, and if knight takes d4, who is talking here, by the way? Who said Chessort? All right, Chessort, since you were polite enough to answer the question, you can continue here, all right? What about the queen? I think this is a pretty variation also. Let's see if Chessart can. Okay, we will look at that, Kebabs. We will look at Queen D1. Sure. So Queen D3 or Queen D1, I think it's the same. Now two knights are hanging, so my only chance is to attack something in White's camp. Please go ahead. Who's talking now? Chessart. Yeah, please go ahead, Chessart. Keep up the pressure here. Queen b5 check. Well, you're totally on the right track, but I think this is a little too brilliant. No, Queen b5. There is this game where you have to take the pieces, right? Like take chess, or I don't know how you say in English, but you're not obliged to take the queen. I can play Queen d7, but anyway, I like very much your imagination. No, that's a very pretty move. Queen b5, right? Anti-chess. Okay, thanks, Michael. So yeah, chess is not checkers. You don't have to check all the time. So we can actually improve this. We can improve this. We can use this idea. We're back now in Sasikiran's game. We can use this diagonal, a4, e8. It's such a juicy diagonal to attack on, right? So how can we do that? Anyone? I don't get any response. Yeah, Queen d4, L. You're right. L got it. Queen d4. Now I have to move this knight, or yeah, I don't know exactly what to do. This does not look healthy, right? Let's go back to L. L, you can take it from here. You have seen all the cheap tactics, right? It's game over. Now you can play your funny move. Aha. So my only chance. Anyone? Anyone good with defense here? What should we play with black? When you're up material and they're killing you, exactly. It's time to give back something. Unfortunately, this is still very unpleasant for black. Do you think white will take the pawn, or will they play something else? Yeah, they won't take the pawn. Exactly. If they take the pawn, I'm very, very happy that I can hopefully trade the queens, right? You have this check if you like, but I can play king d8 and so on. But it's, of course, more promising to give this check. And I think black is in big trouble. Queen d7 is completely impossible due to the same trick. So I have to play king e7. And yeah, this looks very, very ugly, no? So yeah, g3, bad. Yeah, that's with one single word, very, very bad. Actually, white just gave up one pawn, and look where the black king is. So yeah, difficult to play this with black. That's the reason why in the game also they didn't take this pawn, right? They didn't play a6. Sorry, that's what we're looking at, a6. Okay, question from Kebabs was after a4, knight takes d4. Why don't we play queen d1? Yeah, good question. Let's think here. If I go back with a knight, you want to play a5 and take on. Well, I don't think I have so much else to do, right? I don't really have the guts to put my knight there. It looks terrible. So I think I will play this, yeah. So you want to play a5? I have a theory, Kebabs. Maybe I could play something like that. Or is that crazy? It's probably crazy, right? I'm hoping to create some kind of confusion in your camp. Can I do that or no? Knight b5, I have knight e5, right? So that's probably not. Looks really bad. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I'm also not happy about this with black, but we should at least look at it. So if you take, I take. Now you want to take my queen, I guess. So I was really hoping I could take with a rook here. Or is this too brave? Do I die here? Oh, it wins. Oh, interesting. A takes b7. There is no such move, a b7. ba7, you mean, right? So if you play that, oh, I see, nice point. You can queen. But I can maybe also queen. Wake me up if I got this wrong, but I can also queen, right? Or you just take on b1 and you take on. Yeah, it got crazy here, right? But you probably just take it, right? Yeah, exactly. I'm with you, Kebabs. Probably that's right. But okay, I have this annoying check. You don't care? Wow, it got really. It looks like some kind of classical game. King d2 and e5. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to play. Of course, e5. I need to like speed up my development. So maybe you're mating me here, Kebabs, with bishop e5, or what's going on? But this guy is also hanging. Yeah, many pieces are hanging now. Anyone understands what's going on here? Black just lost, or is there some chance here still? I think there is a risk of getting mated, right? Okay, look, I can't understand. Yeah, me neither. Oh, didn't black's rook takes a8 win for black? Sorry, I missed that part. So you should take. Oh, that's fantastic. No, brilliant. So random, and who else said this? Yeah, somebody good with tactics would beat me also. Rook takes and king d7. Yeah, that was very pretty. Bravo. Nice work. We should take that queen and then we will queen ourselves. Yeah, interesting. So back to business here. This was a very complex line. I told you these lines are resilient with black. This setup it's not easy to crack. So a5 was Kebab's idea. We were looking at d4. So if ab we play dc. Seems like black is alive here, but I'm happy to hear your opinion. Knight e4. Yeah, you move the knight, I play knight e5 for sure. I get like an extra tempo hitting the bishop. I would say that one reason why the Caro-Kann scores so well is because it's very solid. It's difficult to beat it. You're sometimes lagging in development and so on, but it's yeah, it has like 9 lives. Knight b5, knight e5, bishop g3. All right, looks like some Sicilian Alapin. No, e5 maybe to cut bishop and to play bishop e4. I feel like I'm better here with black already, but I might be wrong, of course. Oh, a6. I see. I see. Yeah, else probably I play a6 myself. So if bishop b4, c3, I can take. I'm not sure I really understand this kebabs. If I play like that, c3. Okay, I should take the pawn, right? The good thing for me is that I'm very close to castling. That's my yeah, my advantage here. That white's king is in danger, mine is not. So I think this looks dangerous for white a little. No, I think black is okay here, kind of. Yeah, I don't like this for white. Yeah, me neither. So should we go back to the game perhaps? The game is very interesting. We're just starting to look at this. So a4 was key move in this game, right? a4, the computer loves it. This player Hasan Sadeh, he found it. a4, a5 is coming. He's not afraid of knight takes d4. He knows that it costs a tempo. If a6, this seems to have been a very important variation, the one that we were just looking at. Queen takes, and yeah, how did we get here? This one, right? This one was very interesting. And queen d4 and queen a4 and stuff like that. So in the game, black took the pawn, and then we were looking at, oh yeah, now I remember, we were looking at Kebab's move, queen d1, and we were saying that maybe black can play knight c6 and try to get d4 in. So in the game, they played here bishop b5 for the sake of fast development. Yeah, knight c6 is no fun for black, right? What would white play? Anyone? Silly move, right? Silly move. Of course, a5, so we random, you're right. a5, a6, total destruction. We know this pattern from Sasi Kiran's game last week. So black took on b5. We take with a knight so that we have knight c7 coming up. Black had to play rook c8. Black is one move away from relative calmness, you could say, but white, of course, takes this pawn. So at this point, question for you guys: if oh, a6, a5 for white, you mean here? Oh, I didn't see that move. Could you play that also? Interesting. Uh-huh. You know what? Maybe I should play this move. It looks ridiculous to put a knight there, but at least I get this square under cover. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this. Don't get me wrong. I don't like this, but maybe I could play like that. Why not knight c4? Or maybe knight c4 as Sui said. Yeah, knight c4 is better maybe. Yeah, probably right. That's smarter. No, so if knight takes a7, you can play like rook a8 maybe. And if knight b5, you can go e5, taking advantage of this move, knight c4. Looks kind of shaky, but I guess, yeah, I guess it's okay, no? No b3. I don't follow. When is b3? Here b3. I have e5 against everything, right? e5 is coming. e5 is my key move here. Whenever I can play it, I will do it. All right. So back to the game. They played in the game knight takes a7. Next question here. In the game, they played the move rook c4, I think. They played in the game rook c4. So my question to you is, if black plays rook takes c2, I will quiz you on this one, okay? I will quiz you. I want to know. I'm very curious how you think that white should continue in this case, okay? Oh, really? Can you play like that? Interesting. Rook c4, Sartak, L, Can King Sam, RKDK. And everyone else who said queen b3, I will play rook c4. Rook c4, queen b5, queen d7, queen takes b6. Maybe rook to... Okay, kebabs, you got it. Chris, you also found it. Great work. After all, we have very nice development, so why not take advantage of that, right? But okay, we can look at queen b3 also. That's an interesting move for sure. Queen b3. So if you play queen b3, you're hitting the rook and also threatening the check. So I would play rook c4. Queen b5, I guess I should play queen d7. And if you take, I should take. Well, if you tell me that I'm lost here, I will understand it, but I don't see it yet. Or you will have to castle first, right? Or is this winning? Yeah, you should be careful with this check, so or that check. So castles, and now you're one move away from this. So can I like interfere with this in some way? Rook f6, is that making any sense, or it's just silly to play the rook there? But if I play e6, they play rook c1, and I have, well, let's see here. I go e6, all right, all right. What I don't like is that the rook is hanging always. You play rook c1, I play bishop e7. Do I die here? I have this in next turn, right? Is castles the move in the starting position? Rook c4. Oh, I had rook c4. Good move by Gordon. Yeah, of course. Rook c4. If I can play this, I should play it. Now I have maybe bishop c5 coming up. Rook b1. When takes a rook c1. If you take and you play rook c1, you give me one tempo to develop, right? I'll play any move here. Bishop d6 and I castle and I can, yeah, take a break here. I'm alive now. Rook d1, I have bishop takes, bishop h2, tactical. No, I don't follow. Knight b5, I can maybe go bishop b8 and I'll castle next turn. I don't die here yet, I think. I'm okay, no? Yeah, it's hard to say. What about rook c4? What knight b4? You're sending many moves. That's great, but I have difficulties following. You want to play knight b5 here? Is that so? Knight b5, I guess I could play rook c4 again, right? Maybe bring the rook over here or something. I don't know if it's equal, but it's at least black is fighting. Okay. What about bishop e3 instead of queen b5 after rook c4? Wow. Rook c4, bishop e3, hitting the knight. I guess d4 then, Mecha. That's what I have to play here, right? Try to play e5 and, yeah. Hopefully I can stay alive here. Oh, you have queen b5 now. Is that like a big difference, you mean? If I play queen d7... I don't follow. Maybe instead of queen b5, then a5. Wow, many variations here. I take... Kind of nice to have this pawn here, right? To create confusion. Rook d1. Well, what's going on here? Crazy variation, no? Crazy. Rook c1 for... Yeah, in bullet we could play this move, right? But... I don't know if it's good here. Looks kind of interesting though, no? Oh, wake me up if I missed some cheap tactic or something. I think there is something going on here for white. White should be a little careful in this position. Yeah. I can tell you, I saw a game a long time ago. Anand with white, Tivyakov with black. All right, I'll write it to you here. Anand, Tivyakov in the Scandinavian defense. All right. Check that game and you will see something similar to this. Okay. Check that game. Oh, king e2 wins for white? Really? Is it so bad for black, this? So if I play rook c2, you're going to play king takes c3? Wow. Well, I wouldn't say I'm exactly lost here, but is that your opinion that white is winning? Well, white is better, no? White is better. Maybe like, but I can... I don't know. I don't feel like I'm lost here. But white is better. Yeah, I will not lie. King f3 is better, you say. Here, king f3? I don't think so, no. Queen f5? Yeah, what's going on? I think you're subestimating my attack here, no? Yeah, yeah, king f3 is not so clever. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's a crazy variation. Probably this is not related to reality, what we are looking at. I'm not so sure that white is much better here, right? Castles, where castles? Tactical magician said castles. I just don't know when. Instead of rook d1. When did we play that? Yeah, queen b7, queen. Yeah, if you cancel, I was hoping to play e2, like to buy time, no? Buy time with this pawn. It's on the house, no? I will give you this pawn, but I just want to take away rook d1. So you play rook e1, and I'm hoping to play e6 and bishop c5. I don't know what you think tactical. I think this looks okay for black, no? Morty says a5 instead of bishop e3. All right. A5 after bishop instead of... that's here, right? A5 here. Okay. I take... and I have this in the pocket. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing is clear here, Mecha. You can maybe take and breaking f1 and you have some invasion coming up on this side. I don't know, but the knight makes a funny impression on a7. Give me a few moves and I think I will be better here. Knight b5, knight c7. Yeah, something like that. But okay, I don't know. First question, can I take maybe? Do I get killed here after rook e7? And I don't know. Knight c6. Yeah, that's a pretty move if you can make that work. Knight c6. I guess I take it and b7, bishop here, and I don't know. Is this a big problem? Who said this? Titan Chess or whoever. Feel like I'm winning in all these variations, but I might be missing something. Knight e6 instead of queen b6. When was queen b6? Knight e6. I don't follow. I don't follow. We have many moves. I feel like I'm losing. I need some secretary for this. I don't know which move we are talking about. But if we go back to no, knight b5. Yeah, we talked about this already, right? Sorry, I lost track here completely. What are we looking at? Knight takes a5, which is the move that you guys wanted to play. Rook c4. Yeah, I lost track. It was b3, right? We talked about rook takes e2. That's how we started talking about this, I think. So we were saying that in this case, white's task is easier. I think Kebab said simply castles and they play something and we just play rook c1. It can't get much easier than this, can it? All the lines that we looked at now are fancy variations with knight c6 and knight b5. But isn't this simpler? We just trade off their active rook so that we can enter on the c file. Rook takes, and we have already strong threat of bishop c7. If they play bishop d6, I think they also lose this game. What would white play? Anyone? Yeah, extremely simple. Or maybe not so simple. Yeah, I'm not sure. I see a cheap tactic here. I don't know if you see the same tactic. Oh, nobody sees my tactic. I'm waiting, but I might be wrong also. If a5, I hope to play knight c4. But I think there is a nicer tactic here, no? Yeah, bishop takes, and then we have a funny move here. Or wake me up if I'm wrong. Yeah, Sui, exactly. You see, cheap tactics all over the place. Rook comes to c8, no matter what black replies here, I think. Else, let me know. Oh, you wrote that. Sorry, 206. There are so many comments in the chat. I can't follow everyone here, and sometimes you talk about other things also, and it's hard for me to follow. Oh, you also wrote that. Very sorry, JM Chess. Don't feel insulted or anything. I just didn't make it to. Sorry, awesome, Sarthak. You're all winners. Congratulations. I simply didn't manage to catch up with your comments. No. So the people who write other things in the chat, you're actually complicating a little the development of this class. So yeah, let's stick to the subject. So rook takes e2. That's too much. Black understood. Manafov in this game understood that this is just making things worse because white will then be able to trade off that rook. That's why the rook stayed at c4 in the game, right? The rook had to stop on c4. Let's see if we can come back to the game now. This very, very complex game. Rook c4, white castled, and black played e6. All right, for us to understand this, I will quiz you for the next two moves here, okay? Okay, Sarthak, you got it. You were fastest this time. Oh, you want to play that way? If you hit my knight, I will hit your knight, all right? I will play knight c8 maybe. I think so. So, congratulations to Sarthak, GM, Titan Chess, Kebabs, Connor 206, Awesome Owen, JM Chess. Oh, interesting move, Queen D3. What would I play against that? Yeah, half a point if you said Queen D3 on move 2. Rook FC1, it's okay also. Yeah, it's matter of taste. No, actually, it's maybe. Yeah, I think it's a matter of taste. Nice. Please go ahead, Sartak. Chess art, you also got it. Congratulations. The rook is very annoying. We should try to dislodge it from c4 and then bring in the rook. And yeah, we saw the idea already. If you pick the other rook, I think it's the same thing, but please beware that there is this kind of move. I mean, it doesn't really help, right? You can just take and go back and so on. But yeah, to have one less thing to think about. I don't know. Can I play like queen? Yeah, I probably I'm lost here anyway. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I would prefer to go with this rook. Queen d3 was proposed also. That looks like a very promising move. So yeah, half a point for queen d3. If you said a5, I think you're inviting me to play knight c8. I don't know if you want this really. I win a tempo, and if you take, I take back, and I'm hoping to, yeah, bring out my pieces quickly. So yeah, I think b3 as they played in the game. I think that's the best choice here. We simply need to open up the c file. If in the other game things happened on this diagonal, in this game for sure the c file is like our main channel to attack the black king. Okay, so let's go back to the game. Let's see if I can find it. They played b3 here, and the black had to take the pawn. Their rook c1 came. Oh, so I looked at queen d3. Oh, sorry, I looked at this also. Rook c5 to prevent a check, bishop e3, and yeah, black had a funny move here. So let's have a quiz with the black pieces also. Anyone, what do you think black should play at this point? Can you find any idea of like keeping up the fight here with black? Limit the dangers. Okay, Sui, that's exactly the move that I was waiting for. Aha, kind King Sam, you got it also. Oh, d4, interesting move. If d4, perhaps queen takes d4, no? And you end up with troubles on the diagonal. So we have to give back something, no? We should give back something. That's what some of you have noticed here, like Sui and Kind King Sam and JM Chess. So please go ahead, JM Chess. What was your move here in this complex position? Sorry, you should have the black pieces. Sorry. Rook, sorry, knight d7. Very, very clever. We're giving back the exchange now. If bishop takes, this is now a different story. If you have 2 pawns, oh, you take with it. I thought you would take with a bishop though. But all right, I don't know. Maybe this is okay also. I was hoping I could attack you on this side, but maybe you can defend. I think it's actually simpler. Game chess to take with the bishop. I think so. I haven't looked at this, but I'm just guessing. You win a tempo, hitting the knight. And the next move is a big relief for black, of course. Finally, we can do it. So if you count the material, you would say that white is slightly ahead in material, but I think this is heaven for black compared to what awaits them in, misclick, in the game. So back to business here, back to business. We were talking about rook c5, and we were saying that, no, this is probably later. This is this rook c5, sorry. And we were saying that, yeah, what did we say, by the way? I lost track here. B3. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, we took on C2, right? Rook C1. We were looking at Queen D3, and we concluded that maybe we can just give away the exchange here. That's what we were saying. Some people are saying D4, but I know it's well intentioned to bishop takes and Rook D5, but I think I take with the Queen instead, and I think you have problems here on this crowded diagonal. All right, let's continue. They played in the game rook ac1, trading off the defensive rook. And yeah, black had to retreat the rook. This would be tragic for them. We saw this already, right? a5, and yeah, black has problems with rook c8. Now the square is controlled also, so this is just decisive. So rook c5 was played in the game. It's white to play now that we are about to trade off the rook. We could, of course, take it straight away, but then they get a chance to castle later on. So what do you think? White played here, anyone? What did white play? How can we create a threat here? b4. If you play b4, maybe rook c4. No, I will insist on keeping the diagonal closed. Knight b5, Sui, Sarthak, exactly. Knight b5. Now we have clear threat of bishop c7. Black had to play the very ugly move, knight a8. And we have at least two very good options here. So I wanted to hear what you would say about this. Which move do you like for white here? Anyone? You can either play like in the game or you can play in a slightly different way. Yeah, exactly, JM chess. That's what I think also. Rook takes and queen c3. This looks extremely convincing because now they have no good way of defending both. Going back would be just tragical, no? What would you play in that case, JM chess? Which would be your next move here with the white pieces? Fast tactics, very fast tactics. Bishop h6. Yeah, that's a pretty move. If you don't want to play such flashy moves, you would play what Sui Random says. Rook c1 looks very nice. Yeah, we can probably play queen c8, and we even threaten perhaps something like take on a8 and knight c7 and things like that. So yeah, terrible position for black. Complete disaster. They are playing without these pieces. All right. So what happened in the game? He didn't play this. Yeah, after all, he's not a computer. He cannot see all the tactics. He played queen g3. Nice move anyway, because you're targeting the pawn and also something going on here perhaps. Very difficult for black. They played at this point rook c6. I guess simply because they didn't want white to take like that. All right. What might happen next here? What do you think? That's right, so random. I told you guys this game is about the C file. Everything is about the C file here. White hasn't yet abandoned the hope of invading through the C file, and they finally made it here, right? Sui Random, RKDK, Chessart, Michael Deng, Connor. Oh, some people go the other way with the knight. If you go the other way, I can maybe take and you don't have a threat in the end, right? But yeah, consider yourself half winners. JM Chess, Sarthak, L, Mecha Mortis. I think that's okay also. But what Michael said here, please go ahead, Michael. Which was your move? What did you play here? Michael, here we are. All right. Nicest move for white. It must be this one, right? Because you get rook c8, the threat for free, right? You get this threat for free, so it's very hard for them to meet this knight b6, I guess, bishop c7 and so on. I don't know what else to play with black. It's very hard to play such positions with black. Rook c5, of course, Michael. The idea with white here, what would that be? I think that's the game, actually. That's what happened in the game. Yeah, that's what they played in the game. So you can probably a kid who asks for more homework. Yeah, you can say that. b4, I'm not so sure. Don't I have rook c4 here? I thought we talked about this already. I don't think you should play that. Benefit from the queen on g3 instead, I think. No? Wow. I thought this was so simple. Oh, bishop e3, you say. Yeah, I think this is the simplest way to play, right? Now we take on g7. Now for sure the king is in the middle. That's the course of the game, if I'm not mistaken. If you go the other way, may I play maybe rook c8? Can I play that? Or is that silly? You take... I guess I'm lost anyway, no? But could I play something like that? Well, probably not. No, probably not. You can even play like queen c3 and hit the knight. Yeah, it's terrible. So, yeah, knight e4. Okay, let's not fight about it. This should also be okay then. Yeah, looks fine enough to me. But okay, in the game they played knight a7. That was rook c5. Black has been lost. Yeah, exactly. Lost for a long time already. This is just suffering for black. This whole game is very difficult for black. So rook c5 was played in the game. Oh, this is another position. Let's see. We are here, right? Knight a5, rook c7. Yeah. So the rest of the game is not that interesting. They took here. Now the king is in the middle. Very difficult for black. He played king d7. Uh, Anyone, should we take on f7 or should we play something else? What do you think? Take the pawn or do something else? Wait, what about rook takes c1? What about rook takes c1? There's not much to say about rook takes c1, no? What would you like to play next here? Who said this? Sui. Yeah, in the other line. Yeah, with 94. But I'm just saying that it's difficult for black to move here. G6, maybe bishop e5 or bishop e7. Okay, good point. Good point. I see what you mean, and you can play bishop f6. Yeah, good point. This is probably the best you can get in this game. I agree. I agree. This looks much better for black. Real chances of saving the game, perhaps, at this point. I mean, maybe this is annoying to you, no? Maybe. But okay, everything is relative. Play rook g8 and try to survive or something. So, yeah. Anyway, he played in the game knight a7. I must say this is much more logical because, after all, we're after this square, no? C8. So that's how the game went. I was asking you guys, should we take the pawn or should we do something else? Rook c1 says L. That makes a lot of sense. But except that I can maybe take your knight, no? Don't take. Okay, fine. Don't take. Play something else, that means, right? So what would you play? Bishop e5 says Mecha Mortis. That's right. That's what he played in the game. Bishop e5, hitting the rook on h8. Black played rook f4, f8, and now they played knight b5. So you can see material is about equal here, but it's extremely difficult for black to survive. White is simply too active. Please notice, guys, that without queens, black would be okay. This is important to understand. If queens were off, I mean, for example, had we taken here, this is already a different story now. Black is probably, close to, well, not equalizing perhaps, but we have some chances at least of survival. Yeah, white is probably better, extra pawn and so on, but worse positions have been saved in chess history than this one. So for sure, white should keep the queens on, no? So bishop e5, that's a very clever move. Rook f8, and now let's bring out the knight. So the rest of the game, I would say, it's not that interesting. The moves are rather simple. Queen h4 was played in the game. Black is trying to limit white's rook. Anyone would like to propose a move for white? Bishop f6, interesting. Yeah, what would I play on bishop f6? No idea, really. Looks nice. Maybe I can play queen h5 and try to, or queen e4, try to trade off your queen. Like we just said, now we would love to trade queens here. Or you mean maybe then you have rook c1? Yeah, that's a good argument. Yeah, I can see that. Interesting. Bishop d6, very flashy move by JM Chess and Alg and so on. What would I play against that? Yeah, this is also very painstaking for black. What would I play against it? I guess I have to take first, and then can I I don't know. It's torture to play this with black. I don't know. My knight is out of place also completely. Queen e7, yeah, but I guess they just take this guy, no? So, okay, everything is relative. Maybe this is better than the game. Well, it probably is, no? So, yeah, bishop d4, you're right, Sui and Sarthak. Bishop g3 maybe also, but in the game they played bishop d4. I think this was a clever move, yeah. The deflection idea. Black played bishop e7. And quiz time! I didn't forget about the quiz, so here we go. Let's just ask for one move. Okay, you said bishop d4. Great work, Michael. Great work. So, how to speed up this attack? If you play rook c1, what would I play on rook c1? Yeah, it's terrible for black now. Queen g5, guys. That's my move. That's what he prepared probably. Anyone who said rook c1, consider queen g5. Trading queens, it's the topic here in this position. I'm very fortunate I have the knight on a8. Okay, congratulations to Chessart, Michael, Princess Megan, L008, RKDK, Adi Chess, Mecha Mortis, and Sui Random. So Please go ahead, chess art. What was your solution here? Where is chess art? Okay. Please go ahead. You found the move here with white. So I would say once you have your pieces in good places, it's time to use the pawns also, right? So yeah, many other moves were proposed here. A5, G3, Rook E1, Queen E5. Yeah, many moves. But F4 is probably the most convincing. We are simply about to open up the F file. If you play Rook C1, as we were discussing, this might be a good move for Black because I'm somehow forking your Rook and Queen. It would be good news to it. I only answered after. Yeah, I can imagine that, RKDK. You can listen to me and then you can make the choice. Nice. So F4, that's what happened in the game. It's difficult for white for black to save this game. Hold on, guys. Let me scroll back to the game. Let's see what happened here. Yeah, long game. Blacks defended rather well. F5, they played in the game. Now you can see white's queen got stronger. Bishop E5. I guess this comes with some threat over here, perhaps. Queen H5. Queen G3, we don't want to trade queens. This would be a mistake, right? Then black again could play Queen F7. You see, it's a little tricky to win this position anyway. No, black is, I told you, I guess it's like the 10th time I said it, but these positions are difficult to beat. You have to be very patient. Queen G3, the queen is looking for other areas of work. Queen E2, black is going for counterplay. Knight E2, yeah, I lost track here. The game got a little confusing, but I think there is no doubt who is better here. Yeah, he picked up a pawn. He's human after all. No, he's human. He has to also play in a practical way. Who knows the clock situation and so on. Yeah, so knight c7, and if you have to play a retreating move, what would you retreat here? Exactly, L. You're right. Knight f3. That's what he played also. Some kind of pattern recognition. There is a weak spot on e5 that our knight should use. The next moves here are not very difficult. He managed to bring in the knight, and after king d8, there is only one move left in this game. Which move might that be? Somebody who traveled a lot in this game, right? I think he was all over the place. Aha, knight g6. If I'm not mistaken, it's the same knight who was on a7. No, so it traveled like, yeah, like, well, how did it travel? Like this, and then it did some pirouettes, and then it came back again like that. Yeah, interesting. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this game. Very quickly recap what happened here. They played Alekhine's defense, some obscure variation, and this was probably not top priority here. It was better to play, as some people said, g6 and bishop g7, just get castled as soon as possible. It would be a different game. You could also take with the pawn. In that case, development is even swifter. But in the game, black had other intentions, and they played like that. Don't forget what we talked about, this very nice d5 push to limit their pieces. Now you limit several pieces at the same time. Bishop takes, they took on f3, and then we had the key move in the game. So after d5, bishop f4, it looks like some kind of Jobava London. This was the key move. Everybody remember the move here? Everybody? Attacking on the queen side, a4, exactly. They played a4. This pawn is getting very dangerous, and here the tactical fireworks started. I thought this was very important also, that we actually understand how to progress here. We don't do anything, no pawn push or anything. They didn't even play rook e1. You would say rook e1, but hey, that's a typical attacking move. No, because we're attacking on the queen side in this game. That's right, Sarthak. Yeah, you said it 5 times, no? b3 was played in the game because white knows that the key to success is on the queen side. We should try to open up the c file here. Rook takes and rook c1. Is that how they played in the game? I'm a little lost here. But I think they played something like that, right? And then the rook... No, they didn't. Oh, he played rook c4 in the game instead, right? Yeah, I'm lost. I'm losing track here. Knight c. Oh yeah, he played rook c4 and white castled, and then they played b3, right? Is that so? Yeah, that's what they played. b3 key move, and after rook takes c2. What did white play? Anyone? Exactly. Rook c1, you could go with either rook, we said. It was fine as long as we stick to this idea. Black really did their best not to give up the file. They played rook c5 in the game, but white found a smart move Here we had two good continuations. Anyone who remembers the two good continuations? The easiest one, Queen b3. You can't take your own pawn. I'm just kidding. King Queen g3. Exactly, that's the game. But we said that even simpler was perhaps to take and play Queen c3. But in this game, they played Queen g3, and I think this was the last key move in the game, right? Last key move in the game. What did White play here? Knight a7. Exactly, L. That's and everyone else who said it. That's exactly how we should play, so that we can finally take the c file and invade on c8. So today we looked at the Alekhine's defense. Last time it was the Caro-Kann. I think for next time we will have a look at the French game. We will have a look at some interesting variation in the French, but that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for joining. Thanks everyone, and see you next time. Thanks. Bye bye.